5 lies that tell you about credit cards. I think a lot of us, we think we're a lot more mature than we actually are, but at heart, a lot of us still have those kid features still in our adulthood, okay? We all want certain things, and when we can't have them or people tell us we can't buy them, the answer is we all get a little upset. So if there is a way to get what you want faster and when you want it and then worry about the consequences later, a lot of us usually take that option, okay? I'm just being honest, okay? And that's exactly what credit cards do. Credit cards allow people to buy things they usually can't afford and just pay it off later and justify it by saying, hey, I can just pay it off later. No big deal. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about those lies that you've actually been told about credit cards and how to actually know them and why I don't have a single credit card today. All right, not one, zippo. And do me a favor, guys, and actually smash the like button. Once I figured out these lies, I was like, I don't need credit cards. I don't want them, and I don't want any part in this game. Now, number one is qualifications based on your performance. I remember when I was in college, I would get all these credit card offers. I would be pre-qualified, and I would feel, for example, hey, aren't I special? I actually earned this. I must be responsible with money. They must see something in me. The truth is that credit card companies buy a lot of data. Banks sell and buy also a lot of data. For-profit companies are not your friends, and they don't think you qualify for something. They're just trying to basically find a customer that's actually going to play into their game in reality and make them as much money as possible. And that's usually going to be broke college students that want to buy a lot of things they can't afford. I know people that basically, well, I heard about these people, but I know a few of these people also, that while in college and having really no income, would buy a bunch of things on a credit card and till this day, years later, are still trying to pay those things off. You know, I never could go back and think about all the things I bought on my credit card because I just don't remember. A lot of the things we actually buy are just garbage, things we actually don't need. But what I'm trying to drive home here, guys, is the point that you're not special, you're not qualified, you're not good with money just because you're getting, for example, a credit card offer. These people just send a bunch of offers to people that they think are actually going to be good suits for their company to make them more money. So that's very important, you know, because credit card are not some exclusive group of people that are very intelligent. No, it's just people that are going to get into debt. And banks want as many people in debt so they can make as much money as possible. That's the idea. I want you in debt to this point, but not too much because you won't be able to pay me, but not too little because I won't be able to maximize my profits, okay? That's the whole idea. Now, number two, guys, the second lie is going to be building credit. When I first got to America, everyone told me that if you don't have credit, you're going to be no one. You are no one, okay? You are invisible. That's what my family told me. And my teachers told me, you won't be able to buy a house, Tommy. And I was like, really? Now, since then, I am someone and I have bought a house without using any credit, okay? So these are real things. But in reality, I do get why people think this way because credit is something that everyone knows about and everyone thinks is the right thing to actually try to build. And mostly everyone doesn't really know that you actually don't need it, okay? It's just a few weirdos on the internet that actually know this stuff, okay? But here's the idea. When you talk about having a credit card to build credit, people are usually talking about big things, right? Like buying a house, buying a car. But most people just use a credit card and credit as a whole just to buy stuff. I want to buy a VR headset. I want to buy this thing, this vacation, do that thing. I'm going to pay it off. Don't worry about it. But overall, here's the truth, guys. If I wanted to go ahead and buy a car, I don't need credit. I could just save up for it. Now you think about it, okay? The average car payment is like $500 to $700. If I spend 6 months saving money, I have just enough money to buy a good, decent, reliable car. But then there's the argument that, Tommy, people need cars right now. The answer is, I don't care really, right? If you need a car right now and you can't afford a car right now, then what are you gonna do? You take a bus, you take a bike, you might walk, or you might just buy a beater car. Those things exist. There are cars that cost $500 to $1,000 to $2,000. Now, if you can afford to pay $500 or $700 a month, you can afford to have some inconveniences with not the best car possible and save that money and then buy a better car later. It's okay to actually do that. I wouldn't land myself into some perpetual trouble just so I can get exactly what I want right now. That's the problem. Credit allows you to do that. Credit allows you to do what you want when you want it and then not worry about the consequences until you are already too late. That's the idea. That's why I know someone, he didn't have the cash to buy a car. So he signed up for an entire line of credit or whatever. He got a loan. And he was paying, I think it was like 13 to 18% on this car. Some crazy stuff, okay? Now he has a car he wants. He's paying a bunch of money for it. When he's done paying off, he spent so much. And when he's done paying off, the car is basically worth half of what he actually paid for it. And guess what? Because he couldn't really qualify for a good loan, he was sold the car at a higher price than what it actually was worth. It's a bad deal. Why not just keep taking the bus or ride a bike? Or, for example, get a beater car in the meantime. A lot of people, they don't want that. They think it's embarrassing. But the truth is, it's better. It's better. It's better, okay? Now, second, house. You don't need credit to actually buy a home. When you go into the bank and they ask you for your tax statements or your tax reports, and they also ask you, for example, your pay stubs, and on top of that, they ask you for your bill history, and they ask you, for example, for any other records that you may have, they can use all that information to build for you a credit profile and do what they call manual underwriting. So you don't really need credit. The only way to maintain credit is to be in perpetual debt. That's the truth. And if you don't need credit to buy a car, you don't need credit to buy stuff, and you don't need credit to buy a house, then why exactly are you worrying about keeping up with your credit? You see, it doesn't make any sense. And that's why I basically cancel all my credit cards. So I don't try to build credit, honestly. Now, number 3 is going to be free points. I learned a long time ago that nothing is free, including free points. Now, the idea that you're leaving money on the table by not using your credit card and maximizing your points and as much money as you possibly could get, the answer is that's actually not true. In reality, there's a few points people make which aren't that good, but they do make sense, okay? Number 1, you can't actually get rich by points. Imagine that, okay? You spend $100,000. You get 2% cash back. That's around $2,000. Are you rich yet? The answer is no. You spent a bunch of money. But my favorite point is this one. People tend to spend around 12 to 18% more money than they would when they use credit and plastic than they do if they actually use cash. And in my opinion, using debit actually limits you a lot when it comes to buying dumb things, because in reality, if you only have $200 in your debit card and that thing costs $300, you can't buy it. It's done. It's over, okay? So that's the idea. Now, people make this excuse all the time. Tommy, I only spend money on the things I was gonna buy anyways. But if I ask those same people, what are the things you actually bought last month? And they might tell me I bought this, that, and this and that, okay? And they might show me their credit report and there might be extra things in there because automatically you might buy certain things also. But the point is, when I realize that, what am I going to be making? Okay, if I spend $500, I might make, for example, what is it, $20, $40 or whatever. Does it actually make sense? But Tommy, it's 20, 40 bucks I didn't have. Yeah, but you're playing a stupid game to actually get it. I'd rather just invest my money, make money for me, and focus on those things instead of trying to maximize my points and run into risk of overspending or getting charged interest or a bunch of dumb things, okay? Now, number 4 is to actually illustrate this, okay? It's very important. People usually think that because I'm against credit cards, that it's just because I'm impulsive and, for example, I'm not good with credit. The answer is I had over 13 credit cards, a credit line of over $30,000 to $50,000, I think it was, and I never paid any interest, and I never had any issues, and I did have late payments once, and I got them deleted, okay? So, and my credit score was 811. I am a perfect picture when it comes to credit. So it's not like, for example, the reason I stopped having credit is because I was irresponsible. The reason was because I realized it's a very stupid game where the prizes are stupid and it's just not worth playing. That's what I realized. I don't care about points because what is like 10, 20, $40, okay? And usually when I do use credit, I tend to spend more money. It's very true. And then on top of that, what's the sense of building something I don't need? It's like building a house that you're not even gonna stay in. It's so dumb. So now I'm building credit when I don't need it to buy a house and when I don't need it to buy a car. So then what's the point? Just to have it there? No, I don't want to deal with it, okay? And by the way, I'll show you my credit score in a few seconds because you're probably wondering, well, Tommy, I wonder what happened to your credit score. Now, the last thing, guys, is this, okay? When you don't have credit and you don't have any debt, it is actually a liberating thing. It actually helps you out a lot more. It makes you more patient. It makes you a better saver. It makes you a better planner. And guess what? You're not worried about, for example, as much of instant gratification. Now, right now, I'm going to show you guys my Credit Karma account. And something that I actually did is all my accounts were actually frozen. That you should actually know. So if I go to Credit Karma, which is pretty interesting because I actually updated it, you'll see that right now I have exactly 0 debt. I have no debt whatsoever. To me, that is awesome. It's something that I've been trying to work on for a really long time, and I'm so happy I was actually able to get it done. Now, on top of that too, if you go to my dashboard, right here is my actual credit score. It is 677 and 676 on the other side. The answer is I don't even know how I have a credit score, honestly, because it's been over like a year, almost like over 2 years almost, and I haven't had any credit to actually report to these people, and my credit report is actually frozen. But that's it, guys, for this video, guys, okay? There's a lot of lies that we tend to believe, but the biggest lie is going to be you need a credit card because it's important to build credit, and if you don't have any credit, you don't have any history. If you don't have any history, there's nothing you can actually do. It's not true, okay? Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.